Hi guys, we're back now. We're gonna play the bronze game now actually because I completely forgot about the bronze game. So go. I'll just he's linked the game to you.
Yep,
Um,
perfect.
so here we go. This is gonna be an interesting game. Nvzhnn versus Anshul. Um, so this is the bronze
Yes.
game. So
So
this isn't the final. This is the bronze game. So who comes third? Um, so
okay, interesting so far with the opening choice. So it's the first Sicilian that we see now today, and this is called the Dragon variation, which is one of the most kind of studied variations of Sicilian. We'll see how if they know the theory behind the opening, but it's a very fun opening here where on Black's king side, Yuffie and Kedo the bishop
yeah,
putting it on that G7 square.
I mean, again, these two are probably going to be more balanced in terms of like
Yeah,
rating. As you can see, Nvision is they're both in the 1200s, which is quite nice. So if anything, this is going to be the most balanced game that we've had in this series, hopefully. I don't know if they've played each other before. I can't remember, but um,
I
oh
don't think they were in the same group.
yeah, they both castled.
Yeah, very solid so far. I think they both played very well, not really made any mistakes. The big thing though is that it took Angel already spent 52 seconds on move 7, so he is down a little bit on the clock.
Again,
But
this is an ongoing thing with Anshul and how he plays. It seems like he's not very good at the time management thing. I mean, if he can pull it in the bag at the end, that's fine. But we just need to be careful as
yeah,
when he plays in the future, he needs to watch that time.
definitely. It obviously you want to get into as good of a position as possible, but when the issue of course comes when you get to the later parts of the game, you're just down on time. When you use your time quite a lot in the beginning, often what you kind of need is that you're actually gonna be able to use that time, get a better position, and hopefully get a checkmate before the end game.
Yeah,
So they're getting their pieces out. They have okay. Nvzhnn is, pushes d5 here, kind of trying to break open the center.
yeah. It seems as if Nvision has a better placing on the center right now. At least to me, I don't know if.
Definitely, he has both of those pawns, and if Angel was to take the d5 pawn, Nvision would have the c pawn, and he would be able to capture back, and he would have two very strong pawns in the middle of the board. So it's good that Angel doesn't capture there. Something that you often want to try to do is try to just because you can take a piece doesn't mean you want to take a piece. Often it can be very good to just keep the attacks on the board and sort of keep the tension, because it also makes the game more difficult for your opponent to play because you always have to think about, oh, should I take the pawn, should I not take the pawn. Just it makes the game much more difficult.
Yeah. So just organizing the finals, but yeah. So this is looking like oh, there you go. We're moving aggressively with that queen queen position. I hope that is no one who shouldn't be in here. Yeah, fine.
Yep.
Um, yeah,
So now he's starting to threaten a lot of things here because now if Angel is able to get that c6 pawn, then he's gonna start getting his queen into Envision's territory, start threatening some rooks, and it's gonna be difficult at that point. So Envision will have to find a way to protect this pawn, but probably just moving his bishop is the best plan of action here.
hmm. What do you think about that attack on the Anshul? Oh, Wait, no, where do I? This looks interesting. I thought they were going to do something else, but they didn't end up doing it, so it's fine. Um,
Yeah, I think at the moment the positions are very solid as it looks right now. There's nothing really hanging. They're both just keeping everything defended and making sure that they're not making any mistakes, which are not doing. I think both of them have played almost perfectly so far, and we're on move 12, which is very impressive.
and in terms of what each person has taken, they both have one pawn and one knight each. It looks like so. In terms of like
Yep.
their points, in terms of that, it looks pretty even in that regard as well. Rather aggressive move right there.
Yeah. So uh, I do like that he's being aggressive, but the issue now is that when you place the bishop specifically there, the bishop isn't really attacking anything.
Yeah,
Uh, so while it's good being aggressive, it's good to get actual attacks going. What would be sort of a fear right now would be something like if Nvzhnn were to move his knight to d7 to attack the bishop, then it would kind of be a redundant move where he moved his bishop just to have his bishop attacked.
yeah.
But Nvzhnn doesn't do that. He moves a5, which is also a very good find for him.
Is that him trying to get that knight, that castle out, or no?
Uh,
Like,
it, it
what's the
could
point
it,
in
it,
that?
it could potentially be. He could potentially be looking for a rook lift to a6 and then over to b6. Maybe start attacking Anshul's b2 pawn.
Hmm,
But often a moves like these, where you move your pawns to the side, are often more kind of intended for example, flanks, kind of just getting your pawns up the board, grabbing space, preventing your opponent from doing certain moves. For example, preventing Anshul, for example, to push his b pawn 2 squares. Those types of moves.
hmm,
So I really do like that Nvzhnn went for that.
yeah. It looks like Anshul compared to the last game, he's playing a lot more passive in a way, I guess. It's interesting. It's
Yeah,
interesting to see how both of these guys are playing differently to how they played their last game. Of course, Nvzhnn had the difficult mammoth of a task to fight against 6-6, but Anshul seems to
yeah,
be playing a lot more strategically. In term and especially that time. Last game we saw February winning like by having like a minute ahead of Anshul, but they're pretty even on this game, which is quite nice uh, for Anshul.
yeah. Definitely. I think it's pretty much as even as it gets almost. Nvision does have one advantage at the moment, and that is especially okay. He took with the
Interesting.
queen. I was gonna say if he takes with the pawn, he would have the advantage in having a very strong center. Uh, Now instead he has his queen up and ready to fight.
Yeah,
That's
both of them have their queens pretty far up the board. Uh,
definitely the danger is that while it can be good to have your queen far up, since your queen can attack a lot more things, it's also a big danger because it's easy to capture your or to attack the queens and make them liabilities instead of more kind of assets to the position.
yeah,
Uh, that move right there, unfortunately for Anshul, when he moved his queen up there to a5, he left his knight unguarded, and Nvision immediately punished and took the knight.
yeah. So do you think Envision has quite a advantage right now? Or do you think Envision has just um,
Mm, materially, he for sure has an advantage, but I wouldn't say it's by any means over because there are still ideas here for Anshul to perhaps win something back. Uh, Nvzhnn's queen is still very far up, and if Nvzhn leaves his queen there, then he might end up in a dangerous position where he grabs the pawn, but the danger now with having his queen where it is
Yeah,
is
it's
that
quite trapped, isn't it?
yeah, it is possible to get out, but if he makes a bad move, then there's always a risk that his queen won't get out, and I think something like that would definitely be a hope for Anshul to hope that Nvzhn falls into.
Yeah. Nvzhn needs to
Wait,
think quite tactically right now because, as we both said, that queen is in a pretty crappy position.
definitely. In fact, there's only currently two squares where his queen can actually go, and that is c2 and d2. And we're gonna see if Nvzhn finds one of those squares,
Oh
and
yeah,
if he
C2,
doesn't,
yeah.
then that'll be that'll be trouble if he
Oh,
doesn't
there
go
you
for any
go.
of them.
There
Okay,
you
he
go.
goes for c2.
Now I guess
He goes for d2, but
he could pull out, like he could do a diagonal pull out. Because if I was him, I would want to get that queen out
yeah,
as soon as possible because the more
definitely,
the more he leaves that queen there, the more likely Anshul will get a move to try and take it.
definitely. I even though he did find that square for the queen, he's not out of the deep waters yet because obviously his queen is still there. There's still a chance for Anshul to get it trapped. It all kind of comes down to now the coming moves because I think if Nvzhn is able to get his queen out safely, I think he has good chances to end up getting third place in the tournament. But
Yeah.
he's definitely not safe yet.
Again, just to repeat what we've said previously, Nvzhn has a whole minute on top of Anshul right now. It seems like the same. It feels like foreshadowing what the last game looked like right now. But we'll see how it turns out. It's quite nice that compared to last game, both of them still have those queens, um, which gives a more interesting match, I guess, doesn't it?
Exactly.
That was an
It
interesting move, forking those two pawns there from Nvzhn.
Yeah. So he's currently threatening some kind of ideas here potentially. Uh, Obviously, his queen wouldn't be able to capture the pawns because Angela is the bishop defending. But still, it's good when you're attacking. It's very good to just get your pieces in there, start kind of looking for the different ideas,
Yeah,
and
I was going to say
that
it's
is
quite
good. What's
interesting how he moved how Anshul moved that bishop back down to the bottom of the board. Oh shit!
oh
That bishop attacking that knight, that castle. I
yeah
mean, castle. I mean.
yeah. So now that's currently a big problem for Angela because the bishop is not only attacking the castle, but it's also attacking the queen.
Oh yeah,
The
oh
double
yeah.
attack.
Oh, he didn't see it. I don't think.
Okay,
Is
so
Nvzhn going to take that queen?
the issue if he takes the queen is that then Angel now can take Nvzhn's queen,
Oh yeah,
and it's gonna all of a sudden be up in the air. And there's really only one move here that Nvzhn can do, which is what he did and take. It's taking the rook because now he can take the rook. Angel takes back, and
we're now in the
now
position of both of them trading their queens again.
exactly the difference now is that Nvzhn is up a full rook and a pawn here.
Yeah, in terms of what pieces, you're right that Nvzhn has the advantage in terms of what pieces he has on the board. Um,
Definitely, and he also has a time advantage, which it is
Again,
looking a little bit rough for Anshul, but I mean there are always chances. And what I'm currently looking at here for Anshul is that if you look at Nvzhnn's board, his king, while it seems safe, if let's say theoretically Nvzhnn's rooks weren't there, and Angel was able to get his rook up to the eighth rank, then Angel could have some chances of a checkmate, where it's sort of a back rank mate, where Angel's bishop currently on d4 is blocking the king's escape route on g7.
Yeah, yeah.
So there could be some chances like that where Angel is able to get his rook over to those positions, but
I mean, as you say, it looks as if Angel has just put the rook in quite a good position, right? Yeah,
definitely, I think while it's definitely gonna be difficult, and he's gonna have to hope that Nvzhnn makes some mistakes. Uh,
Like,
if Nvzhnn makes a severe enough mistake, then
oh, they're going to trade. Looks like they're going to trade again.
yeah. So okay, it's good that Angel didn't trade here, because if he was to trade, he would be giving up his only pieces pretty much, and then it would be very difficult to have a chance winning.
Hmm.
But
I mean,
it's good that he's keeping a rook on the board at least keeping some type of chance to win.
yeah. I mean, it does look as if it's very favorable in Nvzhnn's position right now in terms of these two rooks that are slowly progressing up the not rooks castles, but are slowly pushing up the board. Um,
Yeah, they're definitely getting there, and it's gonna be we're gonna see if Nvzhn is able to kind of get the finishing blow here in this game.
is he going to go for a queen? Oh,
Oh yeah, it's not looking good here now for Angelo. Now that his pawn is very close to getting promoted, and
and if it does get protected, he's protected by. If it does get promoted, he's protected by that castle, isn't he?
exactly, it's very good, a very strong showing here at the end here for Nvzhn,
Yeah.
showing his kind of
And this
end game
time,
skills.
this time, look. Ansher only has 14 seconds compared to that 2 minutes 34.
Exactly. Again,
It's going to be a,
time being an
yeah,
issue.
time. It's a
That
real issue
that
for Anshul.
that is very unfortunate for him for him, because if you did have a bit more time back on a couple moves ago, there was a situation where Nvision accidentally uh, pushed his pawn to a point where he didn't defend his castle, and Angel could potentially just collect Nvision's castle and maybe have some chance of getting back into the game.
Yeah.
But the whole time situation makes it very difficult to
One
find it.
second. It's. There you go.
Yeah,
I mean, impressive game. Nvzhnn clearly has a talent in endgame, doesn't he? He's pretty good at the
seems so.
endgame. So it looks as if Nvzhnn has won bronze. Um,
Yeah,
so
very strong show from him.
congrats to uh,
I
there you
think
go.
it's
That was a very interesting game, I have to say. That was probably my favorite game yet. I don't know
yeah.
about you.
It was a very nice game up until there, especially in the beginning, where it was very evening
Evening.
even. It was very even for a very long time in that game, where both players just had a lot of chance to make their case, and
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
very well played by both of them, I think.
yeah.